Now, what's your preferred digital currency for this exchange?
Have a fiver?
Nah, it's crypto only, mate.
For potatoes?
And onions.
GM and welcome back to the channel. In this one, covering the Binance news from yesterday, going into some detail around what has happened here and the huge fine being dished out. We're also going to end up on some Kujira alts as well, so make sure you stick along until the end. Also check out yesterday's video on the Solana altcoins as well. Some of those are starting to really pop off, and you can see the reasons why in yesterday's video. But without further ado, let's jump on in. Subscribe if you're new. So first and foremost, let's just go through this quick clip I'm going to show of Janet Yellen saying how they've gotcha in terms of CZ and Binance Exchange. Really dull fucking voice this woman has. A real drone to it. I do not like listening to this, but we'll just play this real quick for you guys.
We're also sending a message to the virtual currency industry more broadly, today and for the future. If virtual currency exchanges and financial technology firms wish to realize the tremendous benefits of being part of the U.S. financial system and serving U.S. customers, they must play by the rules. And if they do not, the U.S. government will take action.
The US government will fine you if you do not play by the rules. So this is what came out of yesterday. We also have Elizabeth Warren here, another one taking a victory lap over crypto. The CEO of the world's largest crypto exchange pleaded guilty to breaking anti-money laundering laws. So the violation CZ pleaded guilty to was around the Bank Secrecy Act. Essentially, they have on record him pretty much saying, look, we're not going to do all the anti-money laundering, all the KYC checks required. This is like the period 2017 when you could just sign up to these centralized exchanges without any documentation. They knew they were in the wrong, but it would cripple their growth trajectory if they started to implement all these things back then. It really has changed the whole of this industry over the time period I've been in since late 2017. The amount of change has been astronomical, and things are trending towards a more regulated environment. But like they've kind of had their gotcha moments, and the US is parading this round like a victory. But to be honest with you, I'm super bullish on this outcome here. Essentially what we had was with CZ in charge over at Binance, Binance being the biggest exchange and just having huge total market share. The US didn't want this guy, CZ, to be in charge. They didn't want to have the biggest exchange in crypto to be an offshore exchange. They've essentially ushered in an era now where Coinbase can become the number one, USDC backed by the likes of BlackRock. You can kind of see how things are shaping up with the suits in America. Coinbase number one. Binance potentially loses its edge here in the markets as well. This is kind of what they were after all along. So CZ has taken one for the team here, an absolute hero, steps down as CEO. We'll go through the TLDR in just a second, but essentially he has taken some of the blame, shouldered it, and now he has to step down. But Binance gets away with this, in my opinion, with just a fine. So when you're looking at things in terms of people were expecting Binance to have some real skeletons in the closet, you know, insolvency talk we've been seeing on the timeline for ages, Binance causing the collapse of the crypto industry, FTX 2.0, all this kind of bullshit. It was never as bad as all of that. All those doomsdayers need to be blocked. A lot of negative individuals really showing their true colors at this point in time. Adam Cochran and some others like Travis Kling amongst the worst of them. But here is the TLDR from Hasaka. So CZ personally gets a fine of $50 million. I mean, the guy is probably worth many multiples of billions, so not really much of an issue there. He can't have involvement with Binance for 3 whole years. So steps down, back maybe in November of 2026. Can you imagine the scenes if that was to occur? Binance has to appoint an independent compliance monitor for 3 years. Of course, they now have Richard Teng in charge as new CEO. They've been fined a whopping $1.8 billion, which was discounted for partial cooperation. Fucking crazy numbers. And that needs to be paid over 15 months. Plus, they've got $2.51 billion in sanctions. No public statements allowed either. Hence, we haven't seen the fall coming out from CZ. He's been very much tight-lipped on any situation here, obviously, as you would expect. Now, this guy here hits the nail on the head. Given how the US Treasury auctions have been going, this is not surprising. So I'm seeing this a lot over the timeline right now. People in the US complaining about the IRS just dishing out additional taxes they owe. So a few guys in crypto on crypto Twitter have said they filed their taxes, they've paid their taxes, and now they're getting additional tax bills. So what I'm seeing here is over $4 billion in fine, one of the biggest corporate fines in US history for Binance going to be paid. No criminal charges really being processed here. It's all about the money. Is there any surprise? Not really to me. It is kind of mafia-esque the way they are operating in the US, and they are just after grifting as much money out of these companies as possible. They've also gone after Kraken yet again, and no doubt will be fining them some more money as well. So the incentive is, how do we screw over these businesses and drain them of their cash? Anyhow, Connor down here was posting, I backed out Binance's corporate crypto holdings from their proof of reserves, 6.35 bill in total assets, 3.19 bill in stablecoins, doesn't include off-chain balances or funds held in wallets not in POR. However, he's saying within this, they have enough money on hand to pay off the US government. So that $4 billion over 15 months is not actually going to be a problem. And as Richard Tang, the new CEO, posted, the fundamentals of our business are very strong. So do believe these guys are very well capitalized still. There have been some outflows from Binance during this period, but Binance will see another day. CZ stepping down. The US can put a victory in their column, but this is really not that bad for the crypto industry at all. So what we had in the previous cycle was this. I'm sure you've heard of Arthur Hayes, even if you haven't been around very long. A bit of a character in the crypto chronicles, if you will. Someone who will go down in history, the kind of Mount Rushmore of crypto paint itself these days. Both of these guys will be on here. Owner of BitMEX, which was the leading Bitcoin exchange. Back in the previous to last cycle, he was done over by the US government, faced a long sentence. I think he just spent it on house arrest, ankle tag, that kind of stuff. Huge fines. And that was just before the rip-roaring 2021 bull run. So this red arrow down here is where he got prosecuted. Then we have this from CZ, and someone's mapped out an extrapolation of the post-BitMEX clampdown onto this cycle, sending us over 100K. So if time really is a flat circle, potentially this is what could happen. BNB's price, of course, took a hit with CZ stepping down, such an impactful player in the space, the head honcho of Binance. So no real surprise that this did go down. It seems to be going flatline, kind of sideways at this point. Let's bring up Bitcoin. Of course, a sell-off into this news event, even though in my mind, this is a bullish bit of news. It could have been so much worse. They've just got a slap on the wrist and a fine at this point. Nothing more is going to really come of this. Bitcoin is thus recovering, and I think it is still bullish. If we just draw this out here, it's just been chopping for the last couple weeks. But what we have here is mainstream media again putting out the hit pieces on crypto. You've got to listen to this one to believe it. The way they're going in on CZ here and the FUD levels. Listen to this.
When you look at this guilty plea coming from the head of the world's largest crypto exchange, weeks after the Sam Bankman-Fried trial ended, how much of a cloud is there over the industry still?
It's yet another stunning blow to the crypto industry. CZ is the biggest name in crypto right now. Binance is the largest crypto exchange by trading volume in the world. So this is a major hit for an industry that's just been beset by scandals and scams.
Okay, so they're painting the picture here that crypto is still in the absolute doldrums. FTX CEO just been taken out. We've now got Binance's CEO as well being taken out. You would think we are at 20K or below kind of levels with this rhetoric and this narrative they're spinning up. They're literally going to make the American population buy top in the next cycle because they're depressing people's feelings towards crypto. Whilst we've seen the charts, the last year for Bitcoin specifically, very bullish indeed. You have the biggest asset manager in the world, Larry Fink, coming to shill his ETF products as soon as January 10th potentially, and in April we have the halving. This is absolutely top tier to watch right now. Plus, we have more stimulus on the way, because what you can see here is FTX making transfers of funds. So the FTX estate is getting rid of crypto assets. They're selling off tons of Matic token, hence the suppression of the price for Matic. I think it rips up once these guys are done selling, and a few other coins on the list there as well. So FTX distributing and selling off all the funds so they can raise the cash to pay back the creditors. So that will occur sometime in 2024, probably Q1. Celsius is guaranteed or projected to be January 2024 when creditors are going to get some form of distribution back. Bitcoin and ETH are here into their wallets. So we have some of the large scale collapses from last cycle giving people money. Yet again in 2024, we can see all the things that are coming into play at the same time. I'm going to get money from this, from Celsius. What do you think I'm going to be doing with mine? It's all going straight into the markets. So there is stimulus galore coming. So in my opinion, I am very much still very bullish on crypto, probably a little bit too bullish, but I can't really believe where we are in the cycle, the rhetoric that is still being spouted, and we're just clearing up gray cloud after gray cloud. I don't really know what's left in terms of major catalysts to blow us up. Black swans are black swans for a reason. They can occur, but they cannot be predicted. So onwards and upwards, in my opinion. So quick one here on some Kujira altcoins, some Kujira action here over on Kujira Tracker. You can see here consolidated around this kind of mid $3 region, waiting for a breakout, and potentially some of the catalysts that are coming around perps, etc., are going to be the reason for the next leg up when people realize how much money Kujira stakers are going to be making. We can see down here the staking count as well has been creeping on up, over 51% of supply now staked. Some of the huge wallets that entered in Kujira over the last 2 weeks, there's been multiple $1 million plus holders minted. So people have come to the books and bid up tons and tons of Kujira. Some guys staked $2 million worth in just the last week here. So you can see this will continue to trend up. There's going to be more airdrops to Kuji stakers over time. And as you can see from down here, the number of wallets is also continuing to march onwards and upwards alongside TVL growth as well. And you can see from the Fin total volume on here, which translates to more staking rewards, totally bullish. So two quick projects to go through here. Wink is the meme coin of Kujira. It is also the content hub of Kujira, and this thing, in my opinion, will go up quite a lot higher. We have market participants at Kujira that have been through the ringer, literally, and will back all the major projects that build on top of Kujira's chain and not sell these for cheap. So in terms of the trajectory of the price here, you can see a bit of a ramp up here, a little bit of over exuberance, consolidation yet again for Wink. The total market supply is 69 million tokens. You can see the distribution here. A lot of it went to the public sale and operations, treasury incentives, all those cool things. Pretty decent tokenomics on this, have to admit. 69 million Wink for the absolute culture. 1.9 mil is the current fully diluted market valuation of this thing. The circulating market cap will be lower than that, around $1 million. And then the most recent massive airdrop that came was from Unstake Fi to the Kuji stakers. And as you can see, airdrop sellers in disbelief here, as Tina posted, starts off a couple weeks back around 3-4 cents, and as you can see, starting to tick on up really nicely there, and that chart is super impressive. So the tokens, all the supply of this was distributed directly to stakers of the Kuji token, and it was over 1 NSTK token you were getting per 1 Kuji staked, and this was 4- and 5-figure airdrops for some of the participants over on Kujira. As this guy posts here, if you're selling your unstaked airdrop for just pennies, after finding out the same team behind this is the Kuji dev team, 68 mil supply, will be revenue generating. I believe we will have to stake our tokens, and this will allow for a similar Luna to B Luna swap and massive yield potential as we saw back in 2021. It taps into Ghost as the borrowing protocol and allows you to unstake technically via a loan utilizing process at the protocol level, so you can unstake your tokens instantaneously. So basically out there we have a lot of protocols that have long unstaking periods. For example, 2 weeks is the Kujira unstaking process. Some of the things on Cosmos are like 3 weeks, 21 days, which is a long time. Thinking back to Luna, that was also 3 weeks, 21 days. If this kind of product existed during Luna, you would have been able to panic early, use unstake finance to withdraw your tokens, obviously pay a fee to the actual protocol for allowing you to get out of your position early, but you would have made out with more money than your funds going to essentially zero. So product market fit is definitely there and well known. And I think this is going to churn out some amazing strategies that can be implemented by using this thing. Current price, 14 cents per unstaked FI token. There is 68 mil in total. Supply of this thing, putting this at $6.8 million market cap. And this, of course, the same team behind Kujira who have created this. They are absolute shippers and builders in the space. Then yesterday, they say, as promised, today we went live on Team Kujira's testnet. So this is live on testnet. Mainnet will be soon-ish. And at that point, people will start to get the light bulb moment of what this allows you to do and how powerful this will be. Check out all the ghost markets and then check out all the different IBC coins that are stakeable and their unstaking periods. And you will see that this will probably be highly used across the cosmos and beyond. So we'll leave things off there with CZ stepping down at Binance, doing the honorable thing, letting the exchange live on and allowing the bull run to continue here. Bitcoin, from the sentiment, you would expect this thing to be down maybe 30K or below, still at 36.5 right now. Looks pretty good in my opinion. Dark cloud removed, onwards and upwards. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you in tomorrow's video. Peace.